Okay, so we are getting up here. We're in manual mode. Whoa. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the all-new Maserati Levante Modena S. Before we get in this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Maserati of Salt Lake City, Utah for giving me some time with this Modena. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for John. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money, the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a twin-turbo, Ferrari-derived 3.8-liter V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 13 around town and then 20 on the highway, with power outputs being 550 horsepower and then 538 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see distinctive lines there, look really sharp, and it has an aggressive appearance. And then coming down below, I love the daytime running light there, and then look how bright that headlight is. We've got a fog light just down below, parking sensors here on the front end, and just look how open the front end is with all of the mesh. Obviously, you got to have a lot of airflow to feed that big V8. Anyways, you got the Maserati Trident at the bottom, and then you also have another one at the top of the hood. And putting it all together, I love the front end of the Levante. I think it looks great. Coming around the side here, tire and wheel setup is 265/40/21 in the front, and then 295/35/21 in the rear. And then let's take a closer look at the wheels themselves. You can see all blacked out, which looks fantastic. You got the red brake caliper as well, so it just pops. Now I've got the signature Maserati venting here on the side with our Modena S badge. And then notice like the mirror caps blacked out, you got the door handles blacked out, and then you can see the trimmer on the windows also blacked out, and even the Maserati Trident there in the back, blacked out. And putting it all together, this is just such an aggressive looking SUV. Now here's a key fob for the Levante. You guys can see we've got our unlock function, our lock function, remote start, the opening here for the hatch, and then the Maserati Trident there in the back. We'll press this a couple times and bada bing, bada boom. Now actually popping in, you guys can see we've got a cargo cover built in from the factory, and this is one of the big benefits of the Levante is it has tons of cargo space here behind the seats, and you even got more underneath as well. We also have a 12 volts right here, and just press this button and it'll lower the hatch right back down. Now I've got the signature Maserati taillights here. You guys can see the Levante badge. You got the Maserati badge as well as a V8 badge here to flex that you got the V8. And then we've got parking sensors here at the bottom, and look how aggressive these exhaust tips are. I mean, it looks great. Now taking a look at the door panel, we've got really nice leather trim here at the top, and then you guys can see the carbon fiber below that, and then look how this metallic trim goes into the handle, and then look at the stitching here. It's black stitching with the leather trim. I think that looks fantastic, but yeah, really nice looking door panel. Even the speakers for the sound system look great. And you have your super secret hidden heated seat control there, like inside. Now I got the Maserati Trident there at the top of the headrest, and then look at the design with the center portion of the seat. Again, also looks fantastic. Legroom here in the back is actually pretty solid. You got a little storage net here, and then you guys can see we've got some vents here in the center and charging ports. And then headroom back here is also good. And would you look at this? We got a cup holder armrest. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see really nice leather trim here at the top, and then look at the carbon fiber down below, just like the back. So I mean, this is pretty much identical to the rear door panel. Got all of our window controls here. The mirrors do power fold in. They also have blind spot monitoring, if you guys are wondering. We do have memory seat functionality with the Levante, and you can see more speakers for the Bowers & Wilkins sound system. Got the Maserati Trident yet again, which actually you can't see because of the sunlight. Stupid sun. But anyways, look at the design on the center portion of the seat. That also looks great. And then we have all of our power adjustments on the side. And then look at those pedals. And you notice we have the light control here with the engine stop start right next to it. And then look at like the vent here and the leather trim on the dash. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, we've got really nice leather trim all around. Notice it's perforated here on the sides to get a slightly better grip. We've got some controls for like your voice command controls for the center stack, hill descent control on the steering wheel. We've got our adaptive cruise control with steering assist, and we have these column mounted carbon fiber paddle shifters as well, which just adds to the cool factor. Now taking a look at the gauge cluster here, first off, V8 logo, got a flex on the plebs. You know how it is. Anyways, we can scroll through a bunch of different menus here in the center to see different bits of info on the vehicle. It's pretty standard stuff. And then you can also see where the suspension is. This does have adjustable suspension. So right now we're just in the middle setting with that. And then we have our drive mode. So notice that it kind of shows us the change depending on which drive mode we have. And we even have an off-road mode as well, which is very interesting to say the least. Now in reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and we got our bird's eye view as well. Yeah, really nice 360 camera system overall, and resolution on it's solid. As for the rest of the infotainment screen, first off, response time here with the screen is pretty solid. Does take a second for some of the menus to load up. We also have heated and ventilated seats. That's what these controls here at the top are for. But yeah, I like they have a shortcut bar, and I like the overall usability of it. I think it's pretty solid. And then down below, we've got our analog controls for the climate system. We've got this super cool carbon fiber tab right here that basically is like a little storage space area. And then in the center here, first off, we have our shifter for the 8-speed automatic. Got the Maserati Trident there at the bottom. Stability control, that's for your off-road mode. Your ice mode, sport mode, that's for the adjustable suspension in terms of like the shock firmness, if that makes sense. Radio controls right here. I love the double stack design. And then this is for the suspension height to raise and lower it. And then look at the carbon fiber trim over the cup holders. Got your parking brake there, and then center console. Decent storage space inside. And then again, really nice leather trim up on the top. And speaking of nice leather trim, the whole dash is covered. It's got like this cool two-tone design with the red and with the black, and then you can see more carbon fiber trim down below. And then with the glove box, lined with felt, solid storage space. And then up top here, we got our controls for the sunroof. We have a full panoramic sunroof up top. And then look at the headliner here, very nice with the material use. And then here's our window sticker for the Modena S. You guys can see all the standard equipment on it. And then this has, so base MSRP 127,000 roughly. Quite a few options added to it. I guess this leather is pretty expensive. Total MSRP 146,240. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your, we'll move the sun bars out of the way, visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors, which you can do with blind spot monitoring, and throughout the rest of the rear. And we'll just blind myself for a second here, but 360 camera system for the win here with this Levante. I'm really excited to drive this. Now, I'm purposely driving this one first today because later this week or next week, depending on when I have time, I will be reviewing the Trofeo version. Maserati Salt Lake actually has quite a bit of allocation for the Trofeo, so cross our fingers that they don't all sell before I'm able to review one. Let's just hope. But anyways, let's see how this V8 powered Levante performs. Suspension's very comfortable, by the way. Ooh, super responsive. Now, I've driven two other Maseratis today. The Ghibli first with the 3-liter twin-turbo V6, and then before that, I drove the 2-liter in the Grecale. So it's like, I'm driving like every single powertrain that Maserati has today, which is kind of interesting. They're all great. They all sound really good for like what they are. Like the 4-cylinder in the Grecale sounds great for a 4-cylinder. It's actually pretty crazy. And then obviously the V6 sounds great. Now this V8, it's got a nice rumbly tone to it. And also, I just noticed the speedometer goes up to 230 miles an hour. There is no way this can go 230 miles an hour. I feel like that's just a flex. Hey, how high does your SUV speedometer go up to? Oh, come on. Seat comfort's really good with it. I love these leather seats. And I love this interior in general, like tons of leather trim. And see, it's all soft touch. Like, you press into it, like some manufacturers, like right here, for example, they'll do like just plastic. And same thing like sometimes in the center, but this is all really nice feeling. So they did a good job with that. Powertrain's super responsive as well. I want to see how the suspension feels in the firmer setting with the Levante. Because sometimes when you have cars in their firm setting, it just gets like ridiculously uncomfortable. Also, pop it into the sport mode. The valves open up, suspension lowers down, things start to get aggressive. That's what that sport mode is for. You know, the traffic hasn't been too bad. I thought it would be a lot worse considering the time of day that I decided to come out and film, but it's not too bad. Oh, this sounds so good. And that's just partial throttle. Okay, so the suspension is pretty firm in the sport mode, so I'm gonna take it out, pop into the manual mode here. Okay, so we are getting up here. We're in manual mode. Whoa, whoa, that is pretty monstrous. Wow, love the sound too. Let's get into setting things up here with the Levante. Again, I'll have to see if the Trofeo is even crazier, which I think it might just be. But this is already, like, the engine's so smooth. It sounds so good. It's just like this nice, smooth V8. Sounds very clean. If that makes sense. I know that's a weird way to describe an engine note, but I feel like that perfectly describes it. Of course, another acceleration. Whoa. This feels like way more than the power figures suggest. This thing has to be underrated. This thing has to be underrated. There is no way that this thing is only in the 500 horsepower range. I mean, this thing feels like a rocket ship. Wow. Yeah, this thing has to be underrated. Summing things up fully, I think this thing looks cool. It drives great. It sounds amazing. It's comfortable. And it's a bit less expensive than the Trofeo, so it saves you a little bit of money if you want the V8 fun and you don't want to pay the Trofeo price. But let me know what you guys think about this Modena S.